I am the Christian psychic. So everybody usually sees that and they're like, isn't that an oxymoron? Kind of. It seems like that, yeah. But my story is that I have been raised in church. I've always been psychic from the time I was little. I don't ever remember not being. I remember times of trying not to be and trying to squash it down, trying to not be psychic because I didn't want to go to hell and all the things that they tell you that in church, but I honestly was born with it. And so when I tried to squash it down, all it did was create anxiety and stress and me not being authentic, right? So a few years ago, I kind of went on my own journey of, from the outside looking in, with as far as the American dream, it looked like I had it. The husband, the kids, the car, the dog, all of those things. Like everything on the outside looked okay, but there was something inside me that just felt like it was missing. Even though I didn't really know what it was, I wanted to find it. I was like, why? I should be so much happier. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I should be so much happier. I have everything. I have things other people don't have. Like, I should be fulfilled. I should be happy. And I wasn't. And so it wasn't that I wasn't happy with my relationship or my kids or anything. I loved all of that. But within me, there was something missing. And so it led me on this self-discovery, right? So I'm like, I had to discover really what was going on within me and what I was missing myself. So as I went on this path, it was really interesting because I was reading all the books, right? I'm reading the self-help books. I'm reading the Get Your Mind Straight books. I'm reading the church books. I'm reading the boundaries books. I'm reading all of these books trying to figure out what am I missing. And I happened to go to a Bible study with the women in the group that I went to Bible study with. And there was 1 week in this Bible study that was talking about generational sin. And it hit me like a light bulb moment that negativity was the sin. Right? So that being said, I'm not saying this to be religious or anything like that, because when you get to the truth of it, the word sin just means missing the mark. So somewhere I was missing the mark in my life, right? That made sense to me. The generational sin, it literally, like a light bulb went off. And I was like, it's negativity. I didn't know how to be happy without being negative because that's how I was taught. There was never enough. It was never good enough. You never did anything enough. The house was never clean enough. The dinner was never good enough. Like, it was just constantly never enough, right? There was the theme there, okay? So as I'm going through that, I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. Like, I wonder how far back this goes. And I'm looking and it's generations, right? Hence the generational sin. And I'm like, okay, well, this is good because this is something I can change, right? So I go back to the books. Just be happy. Just do this. Just do that. Okay, but how the hell do you do that? Yes, I want to be happy. Yes, I want to be enlightened. But how? How do you get to that place, right? So that was for me the thing that felt like it was left out. There was all these great books and all this great knowledge and all this great wisdom, but how do you actually practically bring that into your life and make it something that you can actually attain and do, right? That being said, I was like, okay, great, now how do I do this? Because all the books were telling me all these great things. So I took a little piece from here and a little piece from there and a little piece from there, and I thought, everybody's missing a little piece. Like, how do you tie this all together? So I had to go into my own self. Okay, in the process, you have to remember, I'm still trying to pretend like I'm not psychic. Okay? So within all of this, I'm in this space of trying to make my life feel better and trying to be more fulfilled. The integral part was I was not being authentic to myself. The funny thing is how it happened was I have told my kids from the time they were little, that funny feeling in your stomach is not just a funny feeling, it's the Holy Spirit trying to lead your way. And secondly, if you and God are good, nothing else matters. Okay? My teenage kids at a table, and I'm hearing them talk about the gossip going on at school, and something was said, I think it was about my daughter, it might have been about my son, I don't remember. Anyway, something was said, and I turned around because I'm doing dishes, and I turned around and I said, well, you know, and both of my kids were like, we know, Mom, if you and God are good, nothing else matters. Well, those words smacked me in the face like never before. Because if I was good with God, nothing else matters. Obviously, he did this to me, right? Because I've prayed it away as much as I can. It's not going anywhere. It's still there. So I'm like, crap. If I'm good with God, I have these gifts. Okay, what does this really mean?